All right, let's just jump right in. You know how it is, we've all been there. You take a photo and it's almost perfect, right? The moment's there, but maybe the lighting is a little weird or there's something kind of distracting in the background. You just know it could be better, but the thought of opening up some complicated editing software, it's just, well, it's overwhelming. That whole game is about to change big time.
I mean, seriously, haven't you ever looked at a picture and just wished you could say, hey, get rid of that car, or just make the sky a little bit brighter? Of course you have. But instead, what do you get? You get a face full of sliders and layers and tools that feel like you need a PhD just to understand them. That frustration, that is exactly what we're going to talk about today.
And this really is the perfect photo problem. See, the big wall between the photo we have in our hands and the one we see in our head has always been technical skill. Yeah, super powerful tools have been around for ages, but they haven't really been for us, for the average person who just wants to make a quick fix and get on with their day.
Just look at this shift. It's a total night and day difference. We are moving from the old way, which was, let's be honest, a confusing maze of menus and jargon, to a new way that's as simple as just talking. Google is taking us from a world where you had to know how to edit to one where you only need to know what you want. And that, my friends, is a revolution. So what is this new way exactly? Well, at their recent Made by Google event, the company pulled the curtain back on a totally groundbreaking new feature, and it's built right into Google Photos. It's something that completely flips the whole editing process on its head.
They're calling it Edit by Asking, and the idea is just as simple as it sounds. You just describe what you want done, either with your voice or by typing it out in plain English. You are, quite literally, going to have a conversation with your photo to make it perfect. How cool is that?
So you might be wondering, who is this actually for? Is it for the pros? Nope. It's for, well, pretty much everyone. It's for anybody who's ever felt a little intimidated by editing software but still wants their pictures to look amazing. It's all about making these super powerful tools easy enough for all of us to use. Okay, so how does this all work? Is it actual magic? Well, not quite, but it is seriously close. The engine running this whole show is Google's incredibly powerful Gemini AI. It's what's able to understand what you're saying in normal language and then translate your requests into really complex photo edits.
Your new workflow is going to be ridiculously simple. You just open a photo, say or type what you want, and just let Gemini do its thing. And it's not a one-shot deal either. You can keep that conversation going, you can ask for follow-ups, fine-tune things, and tweak it until that image is exactly what you wanted.
So let's think about a real-world example. Imagine you've got this great vacation shot, right? But the background is all cluttered up with traffic. Now you can just say, remove the cars in the background, and the AI will figure it all out. It'll erase them and intelligently fill in what should have been behind them. It's just incredibly powerful stuff.
And you know, it's not just for these simple cleanup jobs. The AI can handle requests that are way more vague. You could, say, take a picture of a really old, faded family photo and just tell it, restore this old photo. The system will look at it and just get to work, improving the color, the clarity, fixing scratches. Amazing. And hey, it's not all serious business either. There's a really fun, creative side to this too. You could ask it to do something totally silly, like adding sunglasses and a party hat to a picture of your buddy or your dog. The creative possibilities here are just going to be huge.
Now here's the part that really blew my mind. What if you don't even know what to fix? You're looking at a photo and you just think, it could be better. Well, you can just say that. Just say, make it better. The app will then either make some smart automatic changes on its own or give you a bunch of suggestions to pick from. It's like having a pro photo editor sitting right there in your pocket.
But all this power, right? The ability to completely change a photo with just your voice, that brings up a really big question. You know the saying, with great power comes great responsibility. We have to talk about trust and, what's real in our digital world. And this is the question we all have to start asking ourselves. If anybody can fundamentally change an image with a simple sentence, how in the world do we trust what we see online? Now, Google knows this is a big deal, and they announced a second feature that's just as important to tackle this very problem.
Their solution is something called C2PA, content credentials. Now, the easiest way to think about this is like a secure digital nutrition label for your pictures. It's a new industry standard that's designed to give you clear, transparent info about where an image came from and what's been done to it, including whether or not AI was involved. And Google is building this right into the camera app of its new Pixel 10 phones. Now listen, this is the key part. It applies to all photos you take with the phone, not just the ones you edit with AI. The big idea here is to create a whole new baseline of transparency for our pictures, right from the moment they're created.
All right, so you've seen the crazy powerful editing, you've seen the really important trust features, so I know what you're thinking now. When can I actually get my hands on this? Let's break down the rollout schedule.
So, Edit by Asking is launching this Wednesday. But, and this is important, at first it's only going to be on the new Pixel 10 devices, and only in the US. The transparency feature, that C2PA support, that's going to follow in the coming weeks, rolling out to the Google Photos app on both iOS and Android.
So, when you boil it all down, what's the big takeaway from all this? The main thing is that advanced photo editing is finally being democratized. It's not some exclusive skill anymore, saved for experts with fancy software. It's becoming a simple, natural conversation that anyone can have with their own photos with their own memories.
And that kind of leaves us with one last, really fascinating thought. We use photos to capture reality, right? To save our memories. But when those memories become this easy to change, this easy to perfect, how do we decide what's worth keeping? What even is the authentic version anymore? It's a pretty deep question we're all going to be thinking about as this tech becomes a normal part of our lives.